Hey guys, welcome back to yet another episode here at O.A.R. And today we're going to be doing something just a little bit different, not too different, but I'm hoping in this video two things happen. Either way, this video is going to have two things in it. I don't know if it's going to come out here this week or maybe even next week. You know, leopard geckos have a really weird breeding cycle. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to develop two egg boxes for these leopard geckos. One of them I already have made up. It was from last year. I just got to move some hides around. And the second one, I think I'm gonna just use an old hide because these hides are perfect for what I need. So they're gonna be really easy. I'm gonna just show you how to do it real quick. You know, maybe you want to get into breeding leopard geckos. I know not everyone does it this way, but I like doing it this way because it means the females have a good spot to lay their eggs. So I don't get a surprise like last year where water had suddenly evaporated overnight, even though I just filled the water dish the day before. And O.A.R decided to lay her eggs right there in her water dish. So hopefully that doesn't happen this year. I want to prevent that. So let me go ahead and show y'all how I go about making these egg boxes. Now then, for this, I am going to be wearing some actual, somewhat sanitary gloves. The reason is unlike birds who lay really hard eggs at first, you have reptiles who lay these leathery eggs that begin to calcify throughout the period of incubation. That's the word I'm looking for. So throughout the incubation, they go from real soft, leathery to a little harder, but not quite super hard. In fact, I still got eggs from last year that are still kind of leathery. Now then, these are from last year's clutch, and oh, I broke it. I didn't mean to break it, but as you can see, they're all dimpled and everything like that. And that's from the leatheriness. They've dried out, so they're not as well as they were. But I kept 3 of the eggs from last year. No real reason behind it. Sentimental value, I guess? I don't know. But I did, in case of something like this. Now, you know, chickens and birds, when they lay their eggs, they already got a calcium shell around them. And it's not really like that for reptiles, you know. In fact, most animals that lay eggs don't lay calcified eggs. Birds are the only exception. Fish don't lay calcified eggs. Reptiles don't really lay calcified eggs. And I don't know about echidnas and platypi. Platypus? Whatever the plural is. I don't know if that's been determined or not. I don't know what kind of eggs they lay. If they lay hard eggs, leathery eggs, I don't know. I'm not from Australia. I don't need to know these things. Anyways, I got 2. Now, I have everything I need for this right here beside me. So the first thing you're going to need is some good old-fashioned moss of any kind. I prefer to use sphagnum. I can't pronounce it. I ain't going to lie. Moss. It's easy to break apart. Yeah, it makes a little bit of a dusty mess when you first use it. But you easily just pull apart a clump like that. It's a little messy, but it's how I produced all my babies last year, and I didn't have any eggs go bad during that time frame. No eggs started to look lumpy, so it was a good use. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak it in here just for a second. No, not too long. The key to this is you want damp moss, not soaked moss. So you're going to squeeze all that out of there. You know, some of it still feels a little dry, so let me just return that in there and squeeze it all out again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first hide box here, after I set y'all back in the spot where you can see it. Now I'm going to take this first hide box here. This is very simple. All it was a Tupperware container that I cut a hole out of. This is what I used last year. fact, let me go clean this out real quick because it's still got some of the moss from last year in it. Alright, now that we got this cleaned out. So yeah, it's just a Tupperware container that I got from Dollar General. Cut a hole into it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out this layer of moss. It's still going to be a day or two before the earliest she can lay eggs. So that's fine. You're going to want a nice little bit on here. The female is either going to lay her eggs right on top or she's going to bury them. There's not quite an in-between. So you got to be careful when you're looking for the eggs. I try to give enough that if she buries it, I can tell. But I also, what I do is I like these ones because it's easy enough to see, because it's got this nice clearing top on it, that I can see, hey, she's in there, she's laying her eggs. It's almost perfect. I wish I thought it planned ahead and bought another one, but I didn't. And so instead, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use just the nice little naturalistic, quote-unquote, rock hide that you can get from several reptile stores. And all you're going to do, I got to clean this one out too, of course. And all I'm going to do is repeat the process all over again. You know, I got some nice moss here in my hand right now that I'm currently draining out. I'm going to just lay that all in there. Now that is a bit much, but that's fine too. It's okay if you put in more than you expect. I mean, it's just moss. It's not going to hurt anything. In fact, it'll help the eggs if you aren't paying attention for a day or two. You do want to get the eggs out as soon as possible. This way, there's less likelihood of them not incubating right. You know, the mom goes back to eating and everything like that. But now that I'm done with this, I'm going to just put a top back on it and we're going to give them to the two females. Now, I think I'm going to give this one to War and I'm going to give the other one to Lust. So let me go ahead and give Lust her egg box. Now I can't be quite sure if she already, you know, is gravid or not. But I'm going to put this in here just in case, and if in the next week she doesn't lay an egg in there, then I know she most likely wasn't gravid, unless I start seeing baby leopard geckos running around in the next month. But let's give War hers too. Now this one I did steal from Gluttony. So I gotta move her and give Gluttony back his enclosure, or back in a hide. Ooh, let's get you guys a good spot to see her. Like, that's perfect. Oh, she is not in there, surprisingly. She's almost always in there, so where is she? She must be in the log hide. It's not often she goes in there, but I guess it happens. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hide, and I'm going to put it right back where I got the other one from. Now, when she does lay eggs in here, I am going to have to actually move this enclosure out so I can get that properly, because you don't want to rotate reptile eggs. They are not designed to be moved like chicken eggs are, where you got to rotate them. In fact, reptile eggs have a little bitty bubble in them that's almost stationary. And the babies are directed straight towards that bubble. So if you rotate it at all, so you got that little bubble that goes over here now, because this is now the upside of it, but that little baby gecko's head's still right here, and that's not a good thing. So I got to be extra careful when I go to actually get these hides out. You have a 24-hour period, I believe, of when the egg is laid to move that egg in any way, or you risk losing the embryo. The reason being is after that 24 hours, the egg starts to develop enough and it attaches to the egg wall. And when it attaches to the egg wall, that's when all the problems come in. And that's when you can't rotate it, because if you do rotate it, you're going to lose the embryo no matter what. A slight shift might be okay, but that's why you'll see here later on when I do have these eggs, I'm going to mark which way is up and which way is down, or which way is up when I get them out. So that's going to be it for today. Let's see if these eggs get laid. Clearly, I just put the moss in here yesterday, and already we already got 2 eggs and a cricket. Get out of there. But we already got our 2 eggs, so let me go ahead and get everything set up so I can start incubating these 2 eggs. So as all or most of you know, last year in leopard geckos all we produced were males. So this year we want to produce some more females. So I bumped, you can't see it, I bumped it down the incubator to 82 degrees, which will keep it nice and cool. Tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and install the AC unit in here so that, you know, it keeps an average temperature of about 75 degrees in here, because springtime it warms up, the AC doesn't keep up as much. Now, all you're going to need is a good old deli cup with some Hatchite. Take your good old water. Yeah, that's on the wrong setting. And you're going to mist it down. You don't want it soaked, but you do want it damp. That should do it. I'm going to make 2 little divots in here. 1 for each egg, because leopard geckos tend to lay 2 eggs. This is most likely a slug egg, but I got to be really gentle while carrying this and lifting it over. I got to get the next one. Real gentle without trying to damage it. Already these eggs are kind of sunken in. I almost think they're slugs, but like Emily from Snake Discovery likes to say, we're going to incubate until there's not a doubt. So we're going to go ahead and throw these in the incubator. These are most likely infertile. I mean, they look so divoted, and this isn't nothing compared to last year's eggs. But we're going to give them a chance regardless. Now, Lust has yet to lay her eggs. But as you can see, she is half inside the egg box right now. So she should be laying any day now. Maybe even tomorrow or tonight. But we're going to leave her be. And I'm going to go mark these eggs with some Sharpie. Now, these eggs are not 24 hours old. But still, there is a chance of these rotating. So I just want to mark real carefully where the top of them is. There we go. We got a little cross on it. And that's it. Simple as that. You know, if I was doing this like last year, these would be clear lids. But I'll be checking on them. So now, in 64 days, whew, that scared the bejeebus out of me. Well, you're trash. But let me remark this real quick. But in 64 days, I should have 2 new hatchlings. Now, if everything goes right, I should have 2 new hatchlings on about the 4th of July. But, hey, it's how it goes. A slow, slow process. But it's starting now. Hey guys, so it is now Wednesday, I want to say, here at the O.A.R reptile house. And I'm noticing a funky smell here in the reptile room. And that's not quite normal.
Normally if a reptile uses the restroom, you can tell. It's got a real ammonia scent to it, no matter what they did. But it doesn't smell quite like ammonia. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out this smell. And well, I think we already got some bad news here. So these eggs were laid about Wednesday, I want to say. And, well, they don't, I think, yeah, she laid some slugs. So those are definitely bad eggs. Nothing, they were not fertilized properly. We're going to leave them in here, though. You know, just for another week, see if anything happens. But I'm pretty sure those are bad eggs. I mean, that's not what's causing the smell, so I can't be sure. But no, I did come in here and check on those eggs. And they're cold. So I almost wonder if the incubator isn't working this year. Let me see real quick. It's got a little light on it to tell me if it's working. So let me raise the temperature in here real quick. So that's on me. I messed up with the incubator this year, so we lost the first clutch of eggs. But that's okay. They're still within weight. I'm going to give them till the end of the week, and then I'm going to rebreed them. But this sometimes happens, you know. I only just now realized I didn't do it right because of the fact, well, the thermostat or the dang heat plates fell off. So we're going to have to change some things around here. It happens. Oh well. Okay, so it definitely isn't the thermostat. I mean, I just reattached it how it was supposed to be. It works. It burnt the out of my finger. But the heat plate works. So we know it's not the incubator. They just may have been infertile eggs. And if that's the case, like I said, at the end of the week, I'm just going to put the two together again. Same thing with Midas and Lust. Or not Midas and Lust. Wrath and Lust. And yeah, we're going to give those guys time to breed. We're going to do it for about 2 days. They're just going to stay in there together. And that'll give a good chance for insemination and fertilizing the eggs. And we'll just try again. That's the thing with breeding. You never know if it's going to work or not. A lot of it's trial and error. Unless you go on Morph Market, half the time you don't even know if a female is going to breed unless it says proven breeder on there already. But anyways, this is going to be a real short video. I just wanted updates about the babies and the eggs. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope to see y'all in next week's video. It'll be a little bit longer, but I'm hoping to start keeping it down to about 20-minute videos. Thank you. I hope to see y'all next week. So we are back with an update. They are in fact breeding right now. It might be a little hard to see. But what the male does is, you can't really see it. He is currently biting her face. And that's to get him into position so that he can breed. Leopard geckos are very, very rude while breeding. And that is what is going on right now. It's hard to see it, but you can kind of see him biting onto the side of her face right now. He just chased her all over the enclosure, biting her tail just to get up to the head. It is a very rough display, but that's how they produce the next generation. It doesn't really come to any harm of the female, but it's how they hold on in order to actually get the deed done. This is going to be a real short video. I just wanted updates about the babies and the eggs. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope to see y'all in next week's video. It'll be a little bit longer, but I'm hoping to start keeping it down to about 20-minute videos. Thank you. I hope to see y'all next week.